I think what they trying to do, they want us to live in our mind as opposed to let our mind govern our hearts that we live in, should live in ultimately. And I think that by feeding the body more than the spirit, you anchor yourself to the earth. For meaning to feed the body, you have to take in dense materials, whether it be soap operas, dense things about how you feel about yourself, heavy feelings dealing with this dense world, right? Do I got the right Jordans on? So let me spend all of this money. That's density. More money, more to feed the body, clothes on the body, Louis Vuitton. But the monk in the mountains don't wear the Jordans, but he's rich in spirit. The difference is the person that live feeding the body and just going after the matrix, they're anchoring themselves here, because once you feed the body over the soul, see, the thing about this, everyone is a ship. If I feed my ship wind in its sail and you just fill yours up with water from the ocean, you gonna sink and my shit gonna fly. You can fill either one up. You can fill that ship up with water, or you can fill the sail up with air. What I'm saying is, if you had the choice to do either or, most folks fill they ship up with water and they sink, and it anchors them into this ocean, this matrix that's being created. Their soul reincarnates because it didn't die the way it wanted, what it wanted to do. See, because when they was alive, they wanted to have a platinum chain like Jay-Z, and they wanted to have a mansion like Nas, and they never achieved that. So they come back to achieve it, and they come back to achieve it because they're anchoring themselves in they're feeding the will of the mind, the ego, instead of the will of the soul that originally just came here to learn something and pass on. See, when you feed the soul, what you feed it ain't heavy. It ain't a chain. It ain't no Ferrari. It's wisdom, and that don't weigh nothing. And that's the wind in the sail that the soul used to get to the next level. But if you don't give it that, and you don't get the wisdom, which is the wind in your soul's sail, and you fill it up with all the worries and densities of the matrix, you sink. You anchor yourself here because you go where you desire. The universe don't understand language. It knows you got a feeling. And if the feeling that you got is attached to their matrix, you're going to go back to that feeling. If you die and you had all of these unaccomplished things you wanted to do and all of them was based upon the matrix, you reprogram the will of the soul. And just like school, if you don't complete the missions, you come back. So the soul said, well, hold up, I never got a chance to ball out. I never got a chance to get with all the women and have groupies. And some folks spend their whole life chasing this image in their head that the mind is feeding the soul, when actually they supposed to be governing their own mind to be an instrument to carry out the will of the soul, instead of the mind being indoctrinated by the powers that be, telling the soul what the fuck to carry out. I think they anchor themselves here and they repeat their own cycle of reincarnation. And even though we may say that's fucked up, guess what? They wouldn't have it no other way.